Portugal, a small country in Europe, built a huge empire all over the world. Despite its small size, Portugal's influence stretched far and wide, leaving a lasting impact on many regions. From Brazil in South America to Macau in Asia, Portugal was everywhere. Their reach extended across continents, showcasing their ambition and navigational prowess. In Africa, they wanted the busy trade routes along the coast. These routes were vital for the exchange of goods and resources, making them highly coveted. Portuguese explorers first went to Africa in the 1400s, building trading posts and forts along the shore. These early expeditions marked the beginning of a long and complex relationship with the continent. These early stops were just the beginning of hundreds of years of Portugal in Africa. Their presence would grow, influencing local cultures and economies. Portugal first wanted Africa's gold, ivory, and sadly, slaves. These commodities were highly valuable and drove much of their early exploration and colonization efforts. They traded with local African rulers, sometimes making friends and sometimes making enemies. These interactions were complex and often fraught with tension. Over time, Portugal wanted more than just trade. They sought to establish a more permanent presence, leading to the establishment of colonies. They wanted to stay and control more of the land. This desire for control led to the expansion of their colonial administration and settlement efforts. This led to them taking over Angola and Mozambique, two places that became very important to Portugal's empire. These territories were crucial for their strategic and economic interests. Portugal took over Angola and Mozambique because they wanted money and power. Like other European countries, Portugal wanted Africa's resources. Angola had diamonds and other valuable things, while Mozambique had good land for farming. The Portuguese king gave trading companies control over trade and told people to move there. These companies started big farms and made local people work there. Portugal also wanted to be the most powerful country in the area. They fought with other European countries like England and the Netherlands to control trade routes and land. Taking over these countries was often violent, with lots of fighting against local people and sadly slavery. Portugal's colonies in Angola and Mozambique made money by making African people work and using their resources. The exploitation of these colonies was systematic and brutal, focusing on extracting as much wealth as possible. Big farms growing sugarcane, cotton, and coffee were really important. These plantations were vast and required a huge amount of labor to maintain and harvest the crops. Portugal took lots of land from local people and gave it to Portuguese settlers. This land grab was often done without any compensation, leaving local communities displaced and impoverished. To work on these farms, Portugal forced African people to work. This forced labor system was harsh and inhumane, stripping people of their freedom and dignity. They were made to work on farms, in mines, or on building projects. The labor was grueling and often dangerous, with little regard for the workers' well-being. This was very cruel, with terrible working conditions, little food, and physical abuse. Many workers suffered from malnutrition and disease, and their plight was largely ignored by the colonial authorities. Portugal and its settlers got rich, while African people were poor and treated badly. The wealth generated from these colonies fueled Portugal's economy, but the benefits were not shared with the local population. Growing only these special crops often meant there wasn't enough regular food, and people went hungry. The focus on cash crops led to food shortages and famine in many areas. Everything valuable from Angola and Mozambique was sent to Portugal, where it was made into things and sold. This extraction of resources left the colonies impoverished and dependent on the colonial power. Section 4. Changing culture and government. Portugal takes charge. Portugal changed the culture and government of Angola and Mozambique a lot. They wanted everyone to speak their language, follow their religion, and adopt their customs. They pushed Christianity, especially Catholicism, and tried to stop traditional African religions. Portuguese became the official language of the government, schools, and businesses, making local languages less important. Traditional African governments were weakened as Portugal set up its own rules. African leaders who fought against Portugal were often removed or forced to cooperate. Portugal replaced traditional ways of making decisions and keeping order with their own systems. This really hurt how communities worked together and how things were run. Section 5. Remembering colonialism, freedom, and what came after. This section delves into the profound impact of colonialism and the struggles faced by Angola and Mozambique in their quest for independence. Portugal being in charge still affects Angola and Mozambique today. The remnants of colonial rule are evident in various aspects of their societies. Both countries became independent in the mid-1970s after long fights for freedom. But it wasn't easy. The journey to self-governance was fraught with challenges and sacrifices. After so many years of being controlled by Portugal, Angola and Mozambique weren't ready to run themselves. The transition to independence was abrupt and unplanned. Their economies depended on Portugal, and they didn't have many roads, schools, or hospitals. The lack of infrastructure posed significant hurdles to development. Also, when the Portuguese people left, there weren't enough skilled workers and people to run the government. This brain drain left a void in administrative and technical expertise. Today, these countries are still dealing with poverty, inequality, and unstable governments because of what happened in the past. The legacy of colonialism continues to cast a long shadow. They are trying to fix these problems, but it's difficult to forget what happened. The road to recovery and progress is long and arduous, but there is hope for a brighter future.